What's up, everybody? Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome to African Ancestry Live tonight. I'm Gina Page, as you know. I'm the president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com, and I am so happy to be with you here tonight. It's been a minute, but here we are, and tonight is a very special live. It was almost impromptu in a way, but also well planned. I don't know if that even makes sense. But anyway, I'll talk to you about that in just a second. While we're here, you guys know that we're talking about celebrating Blackness tonight, Blackness and identity in popular culture. And this is something that is very close to it's inextricably linked, I would say, to African ancestry and the work that we do. And the author of the book is also a very dear friend and a longtime African ancestry champion and supporter. So I'm happy to see you all joining with me in this conversation. D Alex 45, thank you for being here. Good evening, Akeem Jenkins. I'm glad to see you. Okay, Alafia Ifasakin. I hope I said that correctly. I'm going to Nigeria in January, so I need to brush up on my pronunciations. Thank you for being here, and Alafia to you as well. For those of you who don't know, we're African Ancestry, the pioneers of genetic ancestry tracing for Black people all around the world for almost 25, wait, hold on, 23 years, for almost 23 years now. Is that right? 2022. For more than 20 years, we've been reconnecting Black people in the diaspora to Africa using DNA. And we are the only company still, after over 20 years, that can place a person's African roots in a present day African country and ethnic group. And we're very proud and honored to be able to do this type of life-changing work. We got Curacao in the building. Thank you for being here. Love to you in the Caribbean. I hope you guys are enjoying the weather. So at African Ancestry, we have two types of tests. One test traces maternal ancestry, that's mother to mother to mother on back, going back 2,000 years. We also trace paternal ancestry, going back father to father to father on back for 2,000 years. And one of the beautiful things about an African ancestry test is that we're tracing the ancestry of a lineage. So when one person takes the test, everybody in the family on that lineage shares the same result. So while you may feel like you're doing it for yourself, you're at the same time giving a gift to your family as well. And so the holidays are the perfect time to celebrate your ancestry. And we're having conversations over Thanksgiving and Christmas and Kwanzaa and everything else that you celebrate about family, about legacy, about history, about the future. And African ancestry's results fit in perfectly there. So if you are interested in joining the African Ancestry family, go to the link in the bio of whatever platform you're watching us on. We're celebrating with a 10% discount across the entire site, except for travel and bundles. And you can get started today. But today we're here with a very good friend of mine, as I mentioned, who is an author. She is a screenwriter. She is a film producer. She is a television producer. She is a member of the African Ancestry family. Her name is Shirley Neal, and I'm going to bring her up so that you guys can meet her, and we'll get started. Hey, Shirley.
Hey, Gina. Hey, family.
Oh, my goodness. I have not seen your face in person in years, and
It's
I
been a
used to
long
see you
time.
all the time. How did it get to the place where we haven't seen each other in person in years? How did that
I
happen?
think I think we just got too busy. You traveling throughout Africa. I used to do all the traveling in Africa. Now you're doing it. I'm writing books, so we just got too busy.
Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully I'm going to see your face in February. We're working on that. to celebrate the launch of your new book, Afrocentric Style, a celebration of Blackness and identity in pop culture. And I can't wait to get in it. But I have a trailer, and I wanted to, if it's cool with you, I wanted to share the trailer with everybody so that they can get a sense of the book. So let me pull that up. I had it ready. Here we go. Here we go. Too many windows open. What's up, family? Moncom is in the building. Thank you for joining us. All right. Here we go.
Why is this model wearing curlers on the runway? What does it have to do with Black history? Why is Whoopi Goldberg wearing a shirt on her head? And what does it have to do with Black identity? Why is Jaden Smith carrying his severed locks on the red carpet? And what does it have to do with Black culture? It's all in the book. Get your copy of Afrocentric Style, a celebration of Blackness and identity in pop culture. From author and Emmy Award-winning writer-producer Shirley Neal. Available where books are sold.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I left out the Emmy Award-winning. My bad.
That's okay.
Got to give you your props. So Shirley, I knew you've been working on this book. We've been every now and then you're like, yeah, the book is here. Tell me, well, tell them, tell our viewers, what made you decide to write a book about this?
Well, I have been forever interested in Black culture and identity, which is how we got connected. And I was so interested in tracing my roots to Africa, which, by the way, I traced them to Sierra Leone, Mindy, and the crew of Liberia. So I was always interested in Black identity and Black culture and Black history, but I was also interested in pop culture. And as I started to just get involved with social media, and I kept seeing that there were a lot of pop culture memes and movements and moments and whatnot all over social media that we took for granted. And they really give us a clue about Black history or an opportunity. These are mainstream pop culture moments, and they gave us a opportunity to really learn about Black history. And one of the first ones that really grabbed my attention was this fabulous designer that unfortunately a lot of people don't know about, Kirby John Raymond. And he launches all of these runway shows, and he puts race front and center, not just us wanting to have Black models and having Black designers, but he kept using it to make sure that we knew about Black cowboys, that we knew about our Black hair, Madam C.J. Walker. And he always made sure that whatever he created in terms of a runway show, there was some Black identity or Black culture or Black history that we could draw from it. And so that just intrigued me. And I said, I want to write a book about this. I want everyone to know about him, but I want everyone to start looking at pop culture, mainstream pop culture in a different way, and really have an appreciation for who we are and where we're from. And then it just kind of grew and grew and grew to this book.
Yeah, I mean, how do you even decide? There's so much. I mean, we are popular culture.
Oh, yeah.
Blackness is popular culture. So how do you decide what to put in? What makes the cut in the
227 pages.
270 pages? How did you
actually, that was hard. That was a hard decision. And it started out, the pitch was much greater than it is now. It included Black art before. It included a lot of things, Black architecture. I mean, it really covered way too many areas because, as you said, we're everywhere. You know, pop culture is Black culture. And so my publisher, who is HarperCollins, it's Amistad, the imprint of HarperCollins, they were great in saying, we love this idea, but you got to narrow it down. So pick what you think will be most interesting and more current and have the greatest shelf life. That was still hard, but I decided that I really wanted to focus on fashion, hair, and beauty, because those were some touching points about our identity, particularly the hair. and beauty, or as I say, the shades and shapes of blackness. And then fashion is just, I mean, 4 chapters are fashion, and that was just really hard to kind of whittle it down. But it was tough to really pick. And then one other thing, and I'll have to say, one thing that just helped me narrow down is just the cost of the pictures. There's almost 200 pictures in this book, and
Wow.
they get expensive. It's not like on social media where you could just put up
Right.
anything. You know, here I had to license these, so that helped me narrow down what I was going to include.
You know, I in the trailer, you show Whoopi Goldberg,
Mhm.
and you talk about her. What is that sort of section, not section, that snippet about?
Yeah, that's in the hair love chapter. I have 3 chapters on hair, and I wanted to include that. Whoopi Goldberg she's wearing a white shirt on her head, because it was part of her one woman show, and she talked about something that a lot of people, young people of my generation, we did. You wanted to have long, white, blonde hair, just like a lot of the white women did that you saw on TV, that you saw in magazines. Now, she was very open about how at that time, and Maya Angelou tells a similar story, by the way, but Whoopi was very open at that time to say she not only wanted the long hair, she wanted to be white, because she
Mhm.
thought that's where that's where the identity was. I didn't want to be white. I never wanted that, but I did want the long white blonde hair. So I used to or I just wanted long hair. So I'd put a black shirt or a black towel on my head. But I really go into depth in that chapter about how our hair is basically attached to our identity, and particularly for young girls. And things have changed a lot now with the natural hair movement, but I talk about everything from natural hair to straight hair to bald to shaved to every kind of hair you can think of, and how it's the origins of a lot of it, even the Afro comb. I talk about that and what it's meant to us as a culture.
Yeah. It's fascinating. So when I got the book, and I want to just be clear, I bought the book, everybody. So you know how we do at African Ancestry. And you've already heard Shirley say, and I said that she's an African Ancestry family member, and we support the family. So her publisher sent me a copy, but this is the copy that I purchased. So I hope you all will consider getting a copy of Afrocentric Style. It's the holidays. It's a great gift to give yourself or to give
Mhm.
someone else, especially if you have young people in your family, so that they can understand and get a context for the things that they are celebrating now and the history behind them and the interconnectedness. But the first thing I did was like, okay, where's African Ancestry? I know African Ancestry is in here because Shirley told me, but we found it on page 94, 95, 96, something like
97. It's on 96 and 97.
96.
It's actually in the book at least 5 times, but my eyes just zeroed into it right there.
Hey, we made
I
you
love
we made it
ancestry.
in the book. We made it in the popular culture book. But tell me, tell me why you thought it was important for you to take an African ancestry test, and then why did you add it into the book in 5 places besides the fact that I'm your girl?
Well, that's number one. Well, it was important for me to know my answers, basically because of something the mantra of African ancestry. Knowing where you're from is important to knowing who you are. I might have gotten it backwards, but in essence, that's what it is. And it was just something important to me. I was always a fan of whatever was African, whether it was African design, African fabric, African clothing, but I also just felt a connection to Africa. And when I first went to Africa, I decided I want to know exactly where I'm from. It was nice to be able to be in the motherland, but it's nothing like going there and going to where you're from. And it
Mhm.
had a whole new meaning. I've been to working with the Africa Channel that I helped to launch. I had been to about 50 different African countries in just a span of about 2.5 years.
I
So
didn't
that was
realize it was
yeah,
that
that was
many.
a lot of trips. About 50 in just like 2.5 years. But I oversaw our office in South Africa. So that was a lot of why I was there. But yeah, about 50 different countries, or 50 different trips. And so the one that meant the most to me was the one when I went to Sierra Leone. And that's where my maternal lineage was. And I tell you, I just felt whole. And I always had a strong sense of pride and sense of self, but it wasn't until I actually landed in Sierra Leone and could put my hand in the dirt and just go where I felt like my ancestors had been. I mean, just as I'm talking to you, I just get a chill.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I've been telling everybody about African ancestry and knowing where you're from and going there. And what the many trips I'm so glad to hear that you're doing these trips now where people have an opportunity to go to Sierra Leone, to go to Ghana, to go to all these places
We
where they
just came back from Cameroon.
it's nothing like it. When
Yeah.
you know that, and I think getting the citizenship is another thing that just kind of gives you an added sense of pride. I didn't get citizenship in Sierra Leone, but I went with Isaiah Washington when he was the first to
Mhm.
get the dual citizenship based on DNA confirmation, and just watching him get it was exciting. So it was important for me to share that level of excitement and passion with other people in the book. So that's why every opportunity I could get, I mentioned AfricanAncestry.com.
Thank you, thank you. The Black Panther movie and impact plays a significant role in the book.
It does. And I tell people that this book is really for all generations. And my publisher will tell you, you can't just say it's for everybody. It is, because there are a number of people who started reading it. And I talk about the Panthers in the very beginning. And there's enough people of my generation and a little older who say, I can relate to this. I know the Panthers. And I get younger people who saw Beyonce. They saw that what I opened the book with a comparison between Beyonce and Michael Jackson. And I segue into what does this have to do with Black Panthers? And this gives a younger generation who are into Beyonce to start reading. And they realize, well, Beyonce dressed like Michael Jackson on the Super Bowl, not because she was just a fan, but she was trying to channel the Black Panthers. And then you see these other people who channel the Black Panthers, whether it was Rihanna or Michael B. Jordan, and then it gets you to learn about who the Black Panthers were. And so that's the history for a younger audience. So, and I do that throughout the book. I want to educate and entertain a wide demographic.
Shirley, I have to say, I found this. I know that this isn't really supposed to be show and tell, but this was such a striking page for
Yeah.
me. This layout, actually, because then you had this sort of in the same
Mm-hmm.
layout. I really, your choices of images and quotes is spectacular. It really, everything is very moving. The shapes, what did you say? The shapes and
The
shades
shades
and
and shapes.
shapes of
Mm-hmm.
blackness.
And I even talk about in the shades and shapes I make people think, when was the first time you were aware of your color?
Hmm.
And think about that experience. And a number of people who've read the book, they say, I'm only on page 10 or I'm only on page 30 because I'm not rushing through it. There's so much thought-provoking commentary in there, and the images, it does make you stop and think. And in the Shades and Shapes of Blackness, I recount when I first was aware of my color and what that did to me and what that did to friends of mine and what that did to actors in pop culture that you know of, and how they've reacted when they are either proud of their color, proud of their shape, or they grew up embarrassed. And so it really makes you think. And so I try to pick images like that. That the one that you showed of the young boy in blue in a blue frame,
Mhm.
that was Carrie Mae Weems, the artist, and she did that for shock value, but to really make you think, what do you see? Do you see a young boy? Do you see a black boy? Do you see a blue boy? As we always call, darker skinned black men blue. They have that nickname. What do you see? And it just really starts to make you think. So it's for I beg people, when you get the book, don't just look at the pictures. Look at it to draw you in, but read and make sure you can start to think about what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm going to put a shout out to the people who don't want to read and who want to just look at the pictures. Get this book because
Get
the
the book.
pictures are no joke. Like you, I think Shirley, the pictures are going to make them want to read for real, for real.
And that's what I'm hoping. That's why I picked those specific ones. But look at them, but then read with it. But yeah, I tried my best to pick very very eye-catching images, and a
Yeah.
lot of iconic ones that you may have seen, forever and ever, but it makes you wonder, why is this in the book? What is she going to say about this picture that I've seen 100 times? The little boy touching
Obama's, yeah, I
Obama's
just passed
hair.
that.
You may have seen that before, but what's the story behind that? So I do want you to look at the pictures. I want that to draw you in, but read what they're about.
Yeah, and as I am listening to you, but now that I have it in my lap, I'm like, oh yeah. And then there's this, we are African ancestry, so I'm going to keep bringing it back to Africa. But you forget about African ancestry. You have Africa throughout this book.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I feel like every section of the book has several references to African fashion, or like you said, an African hairstyle, or of
right.
course, African beauty it just is. You don't even have to.
Absolutely. And our
Um,
history, the kente cloth that we wear, where is that from? What does it mean? Did we realize that different kente patterns mean different things? I mean, Africa's everywhere in this book.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Um, Lorenzo Clemens says awareness of self is a must. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And my friend with the Nigerian name that I don't want to butcher says, how do we place an order for the book? So I'm partial to mahoganybooks.com. I say go there, and I'm gonna have to email them and make sure they have it. But they can get any book you want. But you're also on Amazon, right? You can get the book.
We're everywhere books are sold, and if you want to visit African, I'm going to give your website. If you want to visit afrocentricstyle.net, there's a link on there that will take you. It'll say, "Do you want to buy the book?" There's a link there, and it'll show you all retailers like in your area. But yeah, Mahogany Books. I know they have it. Amazon. Everywhere, anywhere that you buy books in store, online, but it's on the shelves now.
Yeah, and of course, Shirley's book is going to be on the shelves of Black booksellers, which is very important to us as well. So if there is a Black bookseller that you frequent outside of Washington, D.C., because if you're in D.C., you're going to Mahogany Books. But please go there. And if they don't have the book, they need to have it. So let them know. But you can always visit afrocentricstyle.net, and I think there's supposed to be an S there, and see where it is in your neighborhood. Shirley, I do want to keep you all night, but I don't want to keep you all night because I know you have things to do and other people to talk to. I am so proud of you with this book. It's beautiful. It is a long time coming. How long did you work on this?
The actual writing, a good 2.5 years, maybe longer. The research took a while. COVID is what kept it from coming out sooner. It was scheduled to come out a lot sooner, and then a lot of books got pushed back with my publisher. And then I was still writing because I wanted to keep it, even though it's evergreen, I wanted to keep it fresh. So I was still kind of writing and up until we were ready to release the book. But it is evergreen. It can last on the shelves for a while, which is why it makes such a good gift book. And Kwanzaa's out there, Christmas is out there. And I urge people to pick up several for a gift.
Yeah, it's an awesome coffee table book. Clearly, as you've heard, it's a conversation starter. She's got thought-provoking prompts in here for when you're talking to your family or when you're sitting with yourself. And yeah, see, I keep getting distracted. Okay, I'm gonna put the book over there. So yes, it's a great gift. And like I said, this is what we do at AfricanAncestry.com. We support Black businesses. I was actually going to suggest to Shirley, you don't know this, but I started to text you yesterday and say, let's do this during Kwanzaa. But I didn't want to wait till Kwanzaa because people are in gift giving mode right now, and not everybody celebrates Kwanzaa. But if you do celebrate Kwanzaa, get the book now and you'll have it in time for Kwanzaa. It's a great thing to incorporate into your Kwanzaa celebrations, particularly on the day that we Kuumba, when we celebrate creativity. I think is a great time to look at it as well, or to focus on it, as well as Nia, purpose. I think those 2 days are particularly relevant for this book. Barry Payton's in New Orleans. He said he's definitely going to Baldwin and Company and Community Book Center to get it. Thank you, Barry Payton.
Thank you, Barry.
Yes, let's support Black business. Let's support Black writers. Let's support Black identity. Let's support Blackness in general. Shirley, is there anything else about the book that, I know there's a lot of stuff we didn't talk about, but anything else you want to leave the people with as it relates to the book?
Just share the knowledge. When I have been doing some book signings here locally, one of the things I write in there is enjoy and may you share the knowledge. Just share the information with other people, because once you retain it, it's portable, and I think it's worth sharing, it's particularly for young people. So I think that's what I'd like to leave with everyone who gets the book. Keep it portable.
Congratulations to my good friend Shirley Neal on the publication of her newest book, Afrocentric Style, a celebration of Blackness and identity in pop culture. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. If you're watching in the replay, let me see you put some books in the replay, supporting Black bookstores, supporting Black authors and Black books. We know that Black books matter. And as you know, African Ancestry is having a site-wide sale. So once you go get your book, then you can go get your test kit and learn about where you're from. We have some cool swag. I don't know that you've seen our new merch, Shirley, but I might have to send you we have some new ethnic group merch. So I am Sierra. I am Mende, or I am Crew. We had holiday ornaments, the whole nine. So we're branching out. But anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining us, particularly Shirley. And I hope you guys have a very good evening. Until we meet again, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be whole. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you.